Hello! In this week's vlog we are traveling from Atlanta, Georgia to Orlando in Florida. So last night we arrived from London. We flew first class on British Airways to Atlanta. It was a lovely flight. I'll put a link to that vlog in the comments, so do go and check that one out. It's quite early in the morning as we are leaving here from the Gateway to Marriott Hotel here at Atlanta's Hartsfield's and Jackson's Airport. We didn't vlog the hotel as we were just too tired to vlog it last when we arrived from London last night. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning for us. But the hotel was fine. It's a Marriott hotel at an airport, so they're pretty much all the same. We're now heading for the SkyTrain, which will take us to the airport within 5 to 10 minutes. SkyTrain is very handy. It travels between the domestic terminal and the car rental center, and there's just one stop in between, which gives you access to the hotels and the conference center. Last night we found out the hard way that the SkyTrain doesn't travel from the international terminal. That was a bit of a research blunder for me. So if you arrive internationally, you have to take a bus shuttle that's outside the terminal, and that will take you to the domestic terminal, and then you can take the SkyTrain. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport here in Atlanta is the busiest airport in the US, and it's also Delta's home airport with both their headquarters and the tech operations that are located here. The layout was kind of confusing as we arrived here. All the check-ins for Delta were at the end of the terminals to the right, and actually the other airlines check-in desks we didn't even see. Security was really ram-packed, but we got lucky. A priority lane just opened in front of us where we were standing, so we could take that, and all in all we went through security quite fast. Well, I'm really vlogging a lot of trains for an aviation vlog. After security we had to take a train to the correct concourse. We had to go to the A concourse, which wasn't that far, first stop, but it actually goes all the way up to the F concourse, which is the international terminal. I'm not really sure if you can enter the F terminal from this location. So in the US they've got this very strange thing that if you buy a business class ticket domestically, which they will call a first class ticket, you do not get any lounge access. Lounge access is reserved for those who have status with the airlines, so frequent flyers, and it can be bought also. Our American Express credit card also gives you access to the Delta lounges. However, this year it's been limited, I think, to 10 visits. It was a short walk to the plane, and they already had started boarding, so we could basically just walk straight on. This was a Delta Boeing 767. It's one of my favorite aircraft. However, it's been about 12 years since I flew on 767, so it's a nice reunion to be on this plane today. We actually got a lie flat seat on this very short flight. I really didn't like this seat. It felt very cramped for me and very open. So I hope that they don't use this seat on transatlantic flights. This flight will actually take some effort to get off the ground. The freight loader, which I could see just from my window, could not get his machine into reverse, and there was a lot of revving of the engines as the gear wouldn't catch, and it took some time and an extra colleague to finally get it into reverse and to push it back from the aircraft. And I was glad because I was really getting worried now that we would be stuck here because this freight loader was still attached to the aircraft. Captain informed us that due to the weather he would keep us in the seats, including the crew, so there would be no service on this 1 hour flight. This is actually the third time this has happened to me in the US when they say that, so I'm not sure if that's a very precautionary thing or if there's more to it. So next thing keeping us back was they have closed a runway as we were already taxiing on the apron, and as we got to the taxiway we really basically had to wait there for 10 minutes before we could join the main taxiway towards the runway.
Flight to Grand Camp report, please.
Once in the air, we were still kept into our seats. Our fearless crew did surface the cabin, and really the turbulence was barely noticeable. The bad turbulence did stay away throughout the whole flight, but as we came close to Orlando and we came in really into the thickest cloud layer I've ever experienced here, it almost seems that our whole descent towards 2,000 feet was within those clouds. Also raining a lot, that's normal in Florida, but this was kind of eerie. It felt more like arriving at Amsterdam or Heathrow in the winter.
Carry-on items properly stowed. So this aircraft comes to a complete final stop at the gate and the captain.
Despite all the slow ups, we are still here on time in Orlando. The flight was advertised at 1 hour and 30 minutes, but we flew it in slightly just over an hour. Flight was good, no food other than a snack and a drink, and I must repeat, I really didn't like these seats. Also a big mention to the cabin crew, they were absolutely great, they were fun, and it does make a massive difference on how you experience a flight in how the cabin crew treats its customers. Well, back in familiar territory, we have been at least almost a dozen times maybe here at MCO in Orlando, but this time, however, there was a plot twist. We had to pick up our rental car at the new terminal, Terminal C, and we just arrived at Terminal B. So stick around if you're interested in how to get from Terminal B to Terminal C, and of course you can reverse it the other way around. But let's first get the train, and that will take us to the main building, and we can go in and collect our bags. As we arrived at the main terminal building on the train, getting off the train, we noticed that the train to Terminal C was located here at the same spot as we were getting off. The main building at MCO is the A and the B terminal, which are actually basically in the same building. This is where you check in and you arrive and you collect your baggage. However, all the gates are split up into 4 satellite terminals, which are connected to the main building by train. So the train that would actually take you to Terminal C, that's the new terminal which is built on a different location and has a separate train that will take you there. That was located near the 70 and the 99 gates train, which you just came from, which is basically the Delta area. So we were lucky, it was just in front of us, the train that would take us to Terminal C. I was figuring out that it was going to take us a long time to search for this train, but here it was. And for those who know about me by now, I'm not that good at looking for stuff. I'm lucky that my head is attached to my body. Once we had collected our baggage, it was just less than 10 minutes to go from the baggage claim to Terminal C. The train was already here for us, so you can add up about 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure, but it's a quick trip. Once at Terminal C, which is the first time for us, there is a Brightline train station. That's a real train which travels between Miami and Orlando. The signage is very clear, and you walk through the parking garage to get to the terminal. On the floor there are colored lines that guide you to your destination. Blue is for Terminal C, orange for Terminal A, and green for Terminal B. And that's where it just came from. And the yellow line is for the Brightline train station. At the end there is the entrance towards the terminal, but we're just going to take a left here and take the elevator to the car rental. One big difference between Avis in Terminal A and B and here in Terminal C is that at C you basically get the car you booked. in Terminal A and B, that can be a much different experience. But this time they did a switcheroo on us. I tried to get a large SUV to blend in size-wise here on the American roads, but they were insanely expensive, so this time we went for a luxury sedan. But instead of that, we got a small luxury SUV, a Cadillac. Not my cup of tea, but sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. The car, however, does its job. It's driving fine, and we're now heading towards our destination, which will be within the Disney bubble. The next couple of vlogs will be a mixed bag of resort reviews, hotel reviews, food reviews, and even more flight and trip reports from our time here in the US during our holiday. So do come back. Thank you for watching. Do leave a like if you liked the video, share it if you want to share it, and do subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. It all helps this channel to grow even bigger. So once again, thank you for watching. Bye bye.